Hi, I'm Zach Stanley, and on today's HMT Tricks of the Trade, we're going to go over how to use a multimeter.
The first thing we want to discuss is, what is a multimeter? A multimeter is an instrument used for measuring electricity and currents. The most common ways that we would use a multimeter in our field is for things like fuses, appliances, washers, dryers, testing treatment lights, for testing outlets, and even for testing non-fluorescent bulbs. The first thing that we're going to start with is with the leads and where to plug them in at. As you'll see down here, you have 3 different locations. The middle one is the common, also known as the ground. That's where the black lead will get plugged in at. The other option are these 2 red options. The first one is this 10A, which ultimately is just your high current option. In our current role, we mostly won't be using that. We will mostly just be using this other option, which is low current. And also with this upside down horseshoe, it tells us this is the sign that we find ohms on. So we'll go ahead and plug our lead into there. And I actually just keep mine plugged in like that at all times. Next, we're going to be talking about the different symbols on the multimeter, and we're only going to stick to 3. The first one will be ohms, or continuity. Ultimately, what continuity is, it sends an electrical current from the battery power of the multimeter through a wire or a bulb.
Continuity, or ohms, is most often used in checking if light bulbs are good, or checking if fuses are good in our surgery lights and things of that nature.
Now what you're going to do is turn it over to the upside down horseshoe, which again is ohms. I'm going to put it on the lowest one here, and what it's going to do is send an electrical current through our wire, as an example.
What you're going to do is have your leads touching each end for this example here. And what it's going to do, again, is just send a small electrical current through the wires. There we go. Through the wire. And that's just to show that the wire is whole and there isn't any break in the wire.
So as we're checking continuity here with the low setting of 200, you can see we have 0.2, 0.1, sometimes 0.3. But that just goes to show that we do currently have continuity.
Now, if I were to snip this, you will see here, it now says OL. And that's just to show that you no longer have continuity. And it's no longer, the energy is no longer being able to flow through one end and back to the other end. One more cool trick that you can do real quick is actually when you turn this on initially to ohms, you can actually test your multimeter by touching the leads to each other and holding them there. And you'll see you actually get continuity, and that's just another way for you to be able to test your multimeter itself. Another way that you can use ohms or continuity is through a light bulb. Again, we'll just put it at 200 on the upside down horseshoe and just touch our leads to each end of the bulb just to see if they're okay. And when you're touching your leads to each end of the bulb, you should get right around 1.5, maybe 1.3, 1.8, somewhere in that area. I know most of the time you do think that you can actually see if there's a break in the bulb, in the thread inside the bulb, but Jimmy has actually shared a story with me where one time he was testing it with his multimeter and it kept showing up as OL on the multimeter, as in no continuity. And he actually took a picture of the bulb and zoomed in because he thought the multimeter was actually broken. And so just another good example of use your multimeter, trust your multimeter, and again, you can test your multimeter if you are curious if it's broken by just touching the leads to each other. One thing to be aware of is if you are using your multimeter either through continuity for ohms or through voltage or really anything, and you see the number jumping around, it either means that you don't have a good connection with your leads and they aren't touching the wire properly, or that the actual wires themselves aren't connected. I have had a time pretty recently where I had to replace the part that actually holds the light bulb on the inside of a light here, and the hospital kept telling me that sometimes it worked and sometimes it wouldn't, depending on the location, depending on how it was bent and things like that, and sometimes it would go in and out. And that ultimately is just because the wire was frayed on the inside, and sometimes it would be getting a good connection, and sometimes it wasn't. So again, if you see the number jumping around on your multimeter, it means that you're not having a good connection somewhere.
Next, we'll be talking about AC, which is the squiggly line with the V underneath it. And this is used for treatment lights, it's used for plugs, things of that nature. We'll move this dial over to 200, should be plenty.
All right, now that we have our multimeter on volts and we have it at 200, now you can set it at 200 for pretty much everything in our current roll. Coming out of the circuit breaker is only 120 volts, and so 200, everything beneath will show up. So if you ever get to the point, the only time that you might have something bigger than 200 volts and so it won't show up is sometimes if you ever work on dryers or if you work on water heaters. Sometimes those will be up to 208. But for 90% of what we work on, you can have it at 200, 200 or less. So how you test a plug is you stick your two leads, one in the left side and the right side, and if everything's working well and it's plugged in well, you should get right around 120 volts. I'm reading at 121, 120.8, but we know that this plug is good. One cool thing that you can actually do as well to test the ground is after you've tested the two sides, you know that they are good. Two leads are in each side, and again, you're getting 120 volts. You can actually take it out of the large side, leave your lead in the small side, take the other lead and put it in the ground. Have those two there, and then that's how you should also get 120 volts. And that's how you test the ground. Make sure that everything's wired up correctly. Now, if one of these is broken, I would recommend starting at the breaker panel and seeing if any breakers are tripped, or checking the reset and test button. But if both of those aren't working, this is your next best bet. Another great way to use AC or voltage is for treatment lights, like we talked about earlier. So, one great little thing that I like to do if a treatment light isn't working is I like to pull off this rubber backing. I'll start with the wires in the back. And if your leads are small enough, you can actually put them in these two connectors. One in the connector that's connecting the brown and white wire, and then one in the connector that's connecting the black and white wire. Now we know this one is working clearly because the light is on, but one way that you will know that this is working is you will actually get 17.5 on the meter. So unlike the plug where you get 120 volts, here you're only getting 17.5. This technique is also great for troubleshooting. Again, after checking the light bulb, the breaker panel, and then if the light has any fuses, if those aren't the initial remedy, this is where I like to start, and that way I can know if it's not working, we're not even getting power to this point. So that way I can either work backwards, or if I know we are getting power to this point, then I know that the problem is further down the line, closer to the light bulb.
Now, sometimes you won't be able to get your leads inside these connectors. So one trick that Jimmy has taught me as well is he actually takes his wire strippers and he'll make a tiny incision on each of the wires here, like that. And then that way he has a location to connect his leads. And then once he's done, he just wraps them up with electrical tape. Next, we're going to talk about DC. That is the straight line with the dotted line underneath it and with the V underneath that. This is really only used for LED lights, like surgery lights. And the big difference between that and the treatment lights is when you're drawing it, instead of drawing 17.5 reading from here, you're going to actually be drawing 24. So you need to make sure that if your particular multimeter has a 2 or a 20, for surgery lights, it needs to be above those two and be at least 200. So that way you'll be able to read it and see if it's working at 24. Other than that, you really just test it the same way.
I want to have a very special thank you to Jimmy for walking me through the multimeter and helping me out through the whole process. That's going to do it for today's HMT Tricks of the Trade. I'm Zach Stanley, and we'll see you next time.